Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Rupinder Kaur with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen to hold a virtual bilateral summit today. Health Minister Harshvardhan launches ICMR's vaccine web portal and National Clinical Registry for COVID-19 to collect comprehensive data about the pandemic in India. Health Ministry says COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 82.58%. 10 lakh recoveries added in just 11 days. UPSC submits in Supreme Court it is impossible to defer the civil services exams any further. Nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary. And in IPL, Royal Challengers Bangalore will clash with Mumbai Indians this evening at Dubai. In our special series on the occasion of the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, we begin this bulletin with Bapu Ki Baat. In a post-prayer speech, Mahatma Gandhi had said that service to mankind is service to Almighty God.
इसमें किसी को पूछने की गुंजाइश नहीं रहती है। जो सेवा करना चाहते हैं वो करें, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा क्षेत्र पड़ा है। लेकिन हम ऐसे पंगु बन गए हैं कि हमको किसी को बताना पड़ता है। अभी यहाँ आज तो सेवा का क्षेत्र इतना बड़ा है कि जितने मिल जाए वो सबको करना ही है.
And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen to hold a virtual bilateral summit today. An MOU in the field of intellectual property cooperation between the two countries will be signed on the occasion. Our correspondent reports that during the summit another major outcome will be the joining of International Solar Alliance ISA by Denmark.
The bilateral summit will give an opportunity to the two leaders to comprehensively review the broad framework of the bilateral relationship in the context of the time-tested friendly ties between the two countries. Bilateral trade in goods and services between India and Denmark has grown over 30% to $3.68 billion in 2019. Around 200 Danish companies have invested in India in different sectors, including shipping, renewable energy, environment, agriculture, food processing, and smart urban development. Several major Danish companies have built new manufacturing factories under the Make in India scheme. Around 25 Indian companies are also present in Denmark in IT, renewable energy and engineering. With Dipendra Kumar, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today launched the ICMR's vaccine web portal and National Clinical Registry for COVID-19. This vaccine web portal will provide information related to COVID-19 vaccine development in India and abroad. In addition, National COVID-19 Clinical Registry will collect data regarding clinical and laboratory investigations, treatments, management protocols and outcomes of hospitalized COVID patients in India. On the occasion, the minister said people are very eager and interested to know about the COVID-19 vaccine development. He said all the information related to it must be provided in a simple and transparent manner, highlighting the role of proper nutrition and physical activity in our day-to-day life. He said that bad nutrition habits are damaging the health of people, especially the younger ones. He appreciated the role played by various initiatives like Eat Right movement, Fit India movement and Poshan Abhiyan to make people aware about a healthy lifestyle.
India's total COVID recoveries today crossed the landmark milestone of 50 lakh. Health Ministry said 10 lakh recoveries were added in just 11 days. It said India is continuously witnessing a very high level of more than 90,000 recoveries every day recently. Recovered cases have outpaced active cases by more than 5 times. The ministry said the commendable feat has been achieved through enhanced medical infrastructure, implementation of standard treatment protocol, full dedication and commitment of doctors, paramedics and frontline workers. The country's recovery rate has reached to 82.58%. During the last 24 hours, more than 74,000 COVID patients have recovered. Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has reached over 50,16,000. The constantly increasing recoveries have ensured that the actual caseload of the country has reduced and currently comprises only 15.85% of the total positive cases. India's COVID-19 tally has crossed 60 lakh with 82,170 new infections being reported in a day. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 9,62,000. The ministry said effective implementation of centre's strategic and graded test, track, treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatality. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.57%, which is one of the lowest globally. In the last 24 hours, 1,039 deaths have been reported, taking the toll to 95,542. According to ICMR, during the last 24 hours, more than 7,09,000 tests have been conducted. The total sample tested so far has reached to over 7,19 lakhs. In Assam, the Health Department has started the process of conducting 1 lakh COVID tests in a state for 3 days beginning today. Official sources in Guwahati said the target has been set to do 3 lakh tests in 3 days across the state. Administration has requested people to extend cooperation in this regard. The Health Department has already started an awareness drive, Jono Jagran, against COVID-19. Meanwhile, 875 persons have been tested positive in the state during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of active cases have gone up to 29,350.
In Meghalaya, the COVID recovery rate is steadily improving as 125 patients recovered yesterday. 19 new COVID-19 cases were also reported across the state. So far, the total number of detected cases in Meghalaya stands at 5,302, out of which 3,779 have recovered, 1,480 cases are active, and 43 have lost their lives. In Arunachal Pradesh, the COVID-19 tally has crossed the 9,000 mark, with detection of 135 new cases in the last 24 hours. According to the bulletin issued by the State Directorate of Health Services, the state's caseload stands at 9,000, including 6,495 recoveries and 2,495 active cases. 14 fatalities have been recorded so far. In Mizoram, 43 more coronavirus cases have been detected in the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state has reached 1,908. According to the official statement, so far 1,373 patients have been discharged after recovery, while 535 patients are presently undergoing treatment.
The recovery rate of COVID patients in Uttar Pradesh has remarkably climbed to over 84%, and there is a significant decline in new cases. Also, the number of people getting cured continues to remain higher than the number of people getting infected with the virus in the last 24 hours. More from our correspondent.
We beg your pardon, we don't have that report.
Yes, moving on. In Madhya Pradesh, Corona's recovery rate has crossed more than 80% in the state. Even though the average infection rate is more than 6%, the mortality rate in the state is quite low. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has reviewed the availability of beds, status of oxygen beds and availability of doctors in the hospitals through video conferencing. A report.
In order to speed up corona testing and to achieve the testing target, the requirement of number of fever clinics will be decided at district level. Now, fever clinic will function from 8 am to 8 pm in urban areas and from 9 am to 4 pm in rural areas. All the fever clinics will function 7 days a week. Commissioner Health Services has instructed all the district collectors that the information of each fever clinic should be upgraded on Sarthak portal. The state government has also directed that mobile sample collection and testing testing units should be set up in the district to speed up the testing. Through these mobile units, samples will be collected by organizing camps in Hard Bazaar of rural areas and colonies and urban areas. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Gujarat, Ahmedabad city has reported 178 new cases during the last 24 hours, while the rural areas of the Ahmedabad district have reported 19 cases during the same period. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that segregating COVID patients as per their viral load has brought down positive patients in rural areas. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Segregating the COVID-19 patients according to their viral load has yielded good results in containing spread of infection in rural areas. The positive patients in the rural areas of Ahmedabad district has come down from 4.13% to 1.6%. According to experts, a pilot project in infection control through segregation of patients based on viral load and severity of symptoms has shown significant reduction in positive cases in rural Ahmedabad. Sources said that out of 1,011 patients, 278 had high viral load, over 300 had moderate, and 400 plus had low viral load. Those who tested positive, their viral load was confirmed through RT-PCR test. Total 1,54,784 tests conducted in rural Ahmedabad till date, out of which the positive patients are 2,335. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Tamil Nadu Health Minister Dr. C. Vijay Bhaskar has said adequate facilities have been made in state hospitals for the seamless supply of oxygen to needy patients. More from our correspondent.
Tamil Nadu boasts of having more than 1,43,000 beds exclusively for COVID-19 patients. The active COVID cases at present are less than 47,000 as per the latest media bulletin issued by the State Health Department. The Health Minister told reporters yesterday in Pudukkottai that over 40,000 beds in the government hospitals across the state have been integrated with high-flow oxygen cannulas for its seamless supply. Doctors say in the case of many patients in designated hospitals meant for COVID-19 treatment, oxygen cannulas assume more importance than the other forms of life support systems. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Telangana today reported 1,378 fresh COVID-19 cases during the past 24 hours, taking the number of cases reported to 1,87,211. The recovery rate also improved to 83.55%, with 1,932 more people recovering yesterday. This took the number of recovered people so far in the state to 1,56,431.
A Level 4 emergency response has been launched to prevent the spread of plague in Menghai County of southwest China's Yunnan province after 2 deaths caused by the disease sparked public concerns in North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region in August. There are 3 forms of human plague: bubonic, septicemic, and pneumonic. A 3-year-old child was diagnosed with a suspected case of bubonic plague, Yunnan local authorities said. Officials from the county government told state media that the boy is the only infected case found so far and is suffering from mild symptoms. In July, China confirmed a case of bubonic plague in the northern province of Inner Mongolia.
South Korea's new coronavirus cases increased slightly in nearly 2 months as the country steps up its virus fight ahead of Chuseok holiday, the Korean equivalent of Thanksgiving, which runs from coming Wednesday to Sunday. The country added 50 new coronavirus cases, the lowest since a new wave of outbreak emerged last month, bringing the total caseload to 23,661. The numbers were the lowest since August the 11th, when a new cluster of infections emerged from a church whose members attended an anti-government rally in Seoul on August the 15th, which pushed the daily tally of cases to more than 440 late last month. South Korean stocks also responded positively and rose around 1.5% as sentiment was boosted. Shares of South Korean chip makers Samsung Electronics and DB High-Tech rose on hopes that they may benefit from the United States' new export restrictions on China's biggest chip maker, SMIC.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Danish counterpart, Mette Frederiksen, to hold a virtual bilateral summit today. Health Minister Harshvardhan launches ICMR's vaccine web portal and National Clinical Registry for COVID-19 to collect comprehensive data about pandemic in India. Health Ministry says COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 82.58%. 10 lakh recoveries added in just 11 days. UPSC submits in Supreme Court it is impossible to defer the civil services exams any further. Nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary. And in IPL, Royal Challengers Bangalore will clash with Mumbai Indians this evening at Dubai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
All India Radio presents World News. News and views from across the globe. What happened? What is up next? The newsmakers and the highlights of the day. Every day at 10:20 p.m. in the night. On 100.1 FM, All India Radio.
Welcome back. The Delhi airport will resume flight operations at the T2 terminal from October the 1st. Airport operator Dial today said the airport has been operating flights from the T3 terminal only since March the 23rd, when flight operations in the country were curtailed drastically due to the coronavirus pandemic. Dial said the resumption of operations at T2 will be with 96 air traffic movements, 48 departures and 48 arrivals per day, and increase progressively up to 180 by the end of October. The Union Public Service Commission UPSC submitted before the Supreme Court today that it is impossible to defer the civil services exams any further. A bench headed by Justice A.M. Khanwilkar asked the Commission to file an affidavit stating its stand and posted the matter for further hearing on Wednesday. The Apex Court was hearing a plea filed by a group of UPSC aspirants seeking postponement of the upcoming Civil Services Prelims Exam 2020.
The centre informed the Supreme Court today that a decision is likely to be taken in 2 to 3 days over the charging of interest by banks on instalments which were deferred during the moratorium period in view of COVID-19 pandemic. The Apex Court asked the centre to bring the decision on record and circulate the affidavit to the parties in a batch of pleas challenging interest on deferred instalments. The centre informed the top court that the matter has received very serious consideration and the decision-making process is at advanced stage. A bench headed by Justice Ashok Bhushan said that it would hear the batch of pleas filed by various industries, trade associations and individuals on October 5.
The nation pays homage to the revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary today. It was on this day in 1907 Bhagat Singh was born in Banga village of Lalpur district of undivided Punjab province. He fought against the British rule for the country's independence and was hanged in Lahore jail at the age of 23 along with Rajguru and Sukhdev. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Bhagat Singh and highlighted his contributions to India's freedom struggle. In his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday, the Prime Minister described the great freedom fighter as a symbol of bravery and courage.
मैं समस्त देशवासियों के साथ साहस और वीरता की प्रतिमूर्ति शहीद वीर भगत सिंह को नमन करता हूँ। शहीद भगत सिंह पराक्रमी होने के साथ साथ विद्वान भी थे, चिंतक थे। अपने जीवन की चिंता किए बगैर भगत सिंह और उनके क्रांतिवीर साथियों ने ऐसे साहसिक कार्यों को अंजाम दिया जिनका देश की आजादी में बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा।
Home Minister Amit Shah paid a tribute to freedom fighter Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, the Home Minister expressed his gratitude to Shahid Bhagat Singh, who gave a new direction to the freedom struggle through his revolutionary ideas and supreme sacrifice. BJP President JP Nadda also paid a tribute to Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, the BJP President said he was a great revolutionary freedom fighter who raised his voice against the British rule at a young age. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has also paid tribute to Shahid Bhagat Singh on his birth anniversary.
In Uttarakhand, hoteliers have claimed that there is a gradual improvement in the tourism sector after the government eased COVID-19 restrictions on tourism activities last week. They said that the influx of tourists in popular tourist spots like Mussoorie and Nainital has started. Hotels that were closed for about 6 months due to corona pandemic have been receiving queries for booking for the next few days, especially for the first week of October. In the last few days, about 10 to 15% business is back, with tourists visiting Nainital and Mussoorie on weekend. Our correspondent reports that tourists are coming after the restrictions on movement were lifted. According to Char Dham Devasthanam Management Board, more than 58,000 e-passes have been issued to pilgrims to visit Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath and Kedarnath shrines.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Rajinder K. Dhamija, neurologist, Lady Harding Medical College, will take part in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar today criticized Congress for politicizing farm bills. Addressing the media, Mr. Javadekar said Congress party is misleading farmers and doing politics over the reform move. He said farmers will not fall for these tactics of Congress. He pointed out that these reforms were also promised by Congress in its poll manifesto.
कांग्रेस पूरी तरह से आज बेनकाब हुई, इसकी जितनी निंदा की जाए, ये कौन सा आंदोलन है कि ट्रक से आप अच्छा खासा ट्रैक्टर लाके उतारते हो और उसको जलाते हो। ये जानबूझ के टीवी का पब्लिसिटी लेने के लिए इस तरह का काम किया और कांग्रेस पूरी तरह से आज बेनकाब हो गई जनता के सामने। यही कांग्रेस का आंदोलन है और इसी तरह से वो किसानों को गुमराह करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, लेकिन किसान गुमराह होने वाला नहीं है। किसानों को मालूम है खरीद शुरू हो गई है, एमएसपी जारी है, एपीएमसी भी मजबूत है और मजबूत तरीके से खरीद शुरू हो गई है, तो अब क्या बचा? और इसलिए ये गुमराह करने की कोशिश असफल रहेगी।
The ruling AIA-DMK in Tamil Nadu conducted its Executive Council meeting at the party headquarters in Chennai today. In the meet, which was attended by more than 250 of the members, including Chief Minister Edapadi Palaniswamy, Deputy Chief Minister and Party Coordinator O. Paneerselvam, 15 resolutions were passed.
In West Bengal, Alapon Bandyopadhyay has been appointed as the new Chief Secretary. The outgoing Chief Secretary Rajiv Sinha has been appointed as the Chairman of the West Bengal Industrial Development Corporation. H.K. Dwivedi will be new Home Secretary and Manoj Pant will take charge of finance. In Chhattisgarh, a Maoist was killed in an encounter with police in Bijapur district of Bastar division this morning. The encounter took place at jungles of Hiranar in Gangalore area. Police recovered the body of the Maoist along with some arms and ammunition.
In a major step towards adopting alternative clean fuel for transportation, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has allowed use of hydrogen-enriched HCNG in CNG engines. The Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS, has also developed specifications of hydrogen-enriched compressed natural gas HCNG for automotive purposes as a fuel. CNG engines were tested to understand the emission reduction using HCNG as compared to neat CNG. A notification for amendments to the Central Motor Vehicles Rules 1989 for inclusion of HCNG as an automotive fuel has been published by the Ministry of Road Transport. Birthday wishes are pouring in from various quarters of the Society for Legendary Playback Singer and Bharat Ratna recipient Lata Mangeshkar, who turned 91 years today. Considered an all-time great, the lady with a velvety voice, Lata Mangeshkar, ruled Hindi film female playback singing for more than 7 decades and is a recipient of numerous awards and honors. She has also received acclaim for her songs in various other Indian languages.
The Nightingale of Bollywood and the Queen of Melody, Lata Mangeshkar mesmerized people from all walks of life in a career spanning over 7 decades. Born on this day in the year 1929 in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, she was introduced to music at a very young age. Lata took her first music lessons from her father, Dinanath Mangeshkar. She won her first Filmfare Award for Best Female Playback Singer for Salil Chaudhary's composition Aaja Re Pardesi for the film Madhumati in 1958. Lata's song Pyar Kiya To Darna Kya from Mughal-e-Azam, composed by Naushad and lip-synced by Madhubala, still remains one of the famous till date. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also spoke to the iconic playback singer to wish her on her 91st birthday and said that he considered himself fortunate to have always received her affection and blessings. Besides, several other luminaries from the field of Bollywood, politics and sports too have extended their wishes to one of the most respected singers of the Indian film industry. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
In tennis, top-seeded Simona Halep won 10 straight games. She defeated Sara Sorribes Tormo 6-4, 6-0 to reach the second round of the French Open last night and extend her winning streak to 15 matches. Now she next faces Irina Camelia Begu of Romania. Irina beat Jill Teichmann of Spain by 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. The 10th-seeded Victoria Azarenka beat Danka Kovinic of Montenegro 6-1, 6-2 in the opening match. She next faces Anna Carolina Schmidlova, who won 6-4, 6-4 against American veteran Venus Williams. 40-year-old Williams exited in the first round at Roland Garros for the third straight year. In the men's singles, former world number 1 Andy Murray has lost in straight sets to Stan Wawrinka in the first round. US Open runner-up 6th-seeded Alexander Zverev overcame a slow start to launch his challenge with a 7-5, 6-2, 6-4 victory over Austrian Denis Novak. Earlier, the final Grand Slam of the year, the French Open got off in Paris yesterday with many changes in place amidst the ongoing pandemic. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bengaluru will take on Mumbai Indians today at Dubai. The match is scheduled to begin at 7:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Rajasthan Royals recorded the highest run chase in the tournament history of IPL to beat Kings 11 Punjab by 4 wickets in a high-scoring encounter at Sharjah last night. Put into bat first, Kings 11 Punjab's Mayank Agarwal smashed a 50-ball 106, while skipper KL Rahul cracked a 54-ball 69 as the duo stitched a 183-run opening standoff, 99 balls, to power Punjab to an imposing total of 223 for 2.
Now a look at the weather. The forecast for the national capital Delhi says it will have a clear sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 22 degrees Celsius, maximum expected to be around 37. In Mumbai, there will be generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 27, maximum will be around 32. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature is likely to hover between 27 and 33 degrees. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in the city was 26 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 33. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature in Jammu was 19 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 35 degrees. It will have a mainly clear sky. In Srinagar, minimum temperature was around 8 degrees, while the maximum will be 26 degrees. The city will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Leh in Ladakh will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature is likely to hover between 7 and 22 degrees. In Gilgit, temperature is likely to hover between 13 and 26 degrees. It will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Muzaffarabad, mainly clear sky, partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature is likely to hover between 15 and 33 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen to hold a virtual bilateral summit today. Health Minister Harshvardhan launches ICMR's vaccine web portal and national clinical registry for COVID-19 to collect comprehensive data about pandemic in India. Health Ministry says COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 82.58%. 10 lakh recoveries added in just 11 days. UPSC submits in Supreme Court it is impossible to defer the civil services exams any further. Nation pays homage to revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh on his 113th birth anniversary, and in IPL, Royal Challengers Bangalore will clash with Mumbai Indians this evening at Dubai. We now bring you Bapu's favourite bhajan Vaishnav Janto, sung by an artist from South Korea. With that, we end the midday news.